everybody. Welcome to another episode. This is episode 482. And this is, I think, Dimi's fourth or fifth episode that you've done. I tried to collect all of the old episodes.
I think it's number 4. We did
I think it's
one
number
on
4.
time management, one on semiotics, the third on
was the AI. And I actually have them on the page. So I'll share the link and it'll be at the top when we are finished, the link to the page. But all those old episodes are there. And we have definitely talked about time and other things. But today we are talking about something that I love, that you couldn't find something and you made something. So I love when we do this because I think it makes our industry better. And I'm sure, and one of the things that I started off, kicked off this in the newsletter and in the post was saying that you are a brand designer and a strategist, and you have a great, you're a big thinker, and I love talking to you. I'm glad you're my friend. But you also have the ability to make a lot of things, but you were searching for a tool and none of the tools were there. And I think we all can relate that we have tried to ideate and we get frustrated or because I only know certain things. So tell us about, this is Dimi. He's been on many times. He's in Greece. When I met him, he lived in London or in England, yes. Right?
Yep.
And so, but we've been friends for years now.
Yeah.
And
5.
So, yeah, about 5 years. And so, Dimi, you tell him a little bit about what you do and then jump into why, what you were trying to do and you couldn't find a tool that was really meeting your needs for ideation and brainstorming.
Okay, so I'm Dimi. I'm the co-founder of Symbol on Branding, which is a brand identity design studio. I used to say based in the UK. Now it's sort of pan-European. No, but
it's based in the world.
Well, it's going to be. So yeah, I have been doing brand identity design for several years. We started Symbol on Branding started in 2019. In 2021, I partnered up with a good friend of mine based in Manchester with similar background as me, from the same extended network that I met Diane as well, on Chris Doe's pedigree of brand identity design ideas. And my main challenge has been I don't have a traditional design background as most people have. I had some studies in mathematics before that, and as such, both the college experience and the work experience in design has been very, very frustrating for me, and the lack of scientific reasoning behind it has been very confusing and very challenging. So,
and that was something that was missing. You have encouraged me about just teaching design. Like there probably is some things that are subjective, but there's lots of things that aren't subjective, right?
Exactly. And even the things that are subjective, if there are patterns that, are formed in this shape, like if there are general trends, we should at least recognize the subjectivity of it. We have a whole episode about why this was upsetting about me with Creatives Ignite. I think it was the one before the last. Yes. So in general, like I'm always eager to sort of provide a foundation in what I do, and as such, there has been this sincere effort that I have been putting towards working with semiotics more.
Just in case. So
Sorry?
My mom would not know what semiotics were. So okay, I always like to, even she's still here,
Yeah. So semiotics is the study of symbols and signs. It is also like people might be using a different word, which is called semiology. They're slightly different, but their intention is the same. Semiology is usually used by people in the European school of this science, and semiotics is used by people on the American side of this school. So I've more grown to the American branch, and the main thing is, why do things mean what they mean? Why is the word dog associated with a concept dog? Why is red the color of passion? Why is, a familiar jingle in the radio triggering certain responses from us? So 100 years ago, there used to live this great American mathematician guy called Charles Sanders Peirce, and he had some brilliant ideas about this science, and he started writing things, but lo and behold, they're completely illegible to most designers because they don't have the mathematical knowledge in order to understand them. So a big chunk of my work is translating these ideas, because I have the language required, translating these ideas into things that are immediately accessible and usable by people. Did I present myself well?
I think so. And also, and you said you have a math background. I think that this is one of the things that makes, and you like to push the envelope. One thing I love about Dimi is he always will tell me like it is. He's not, so we have really good conversations that could be, some people might, if they were listening to us have a conversation, some people might be like, whoa, you were really heated, or you were having but I love having conversations like that. We don't always have to agree, right? But we're having thoughtful conversation.
I'm one of these people who think, debate is the foundry of good ideas. So whenever I'm challenging, I'm hoping to be convinced. That's my general attitude in conversations. So
okay, so paint us this picture. So back in maybe 2019, you were doing branding, and or 2017 or whatever. You're coming up with, you're using semiotics, you're using math, you're doing research, but there was something missing. What was missing when you were trying to ideate?
Okay, so the main thing is, I think you're referring to the tool I made. The big thing is, it didn't really start from an intent to ideate. It's just developed in this. Mm-hmm. The main thing is, I wanted to have a map of some sorts that ties concepts together, which is really accessible. So all of these ideas, like red being the color of passion, for example. Okay, this is something that there's a general consensus among Western people or Indo-European people. There you go. See the cat?
That was your cat. Oh my goodness, he's a superhero.
Yes. So this is the first time recording with the cat in the house. So I really hope it doesn't bother anyone.
It'll be fine. That was amazing.
Cat allergies and all such. So the main challenge that I used to have is there a record of these associations? Like, yellow is excitement, and red is anger, and blue is calmness, and the more I started looking at these things, and there are some dictionaries that are used especially in art history. The dictionaries are really hard to parse, because you have to be changing pages every now and then. Like the written form is not the best way to handle this. So I tried making a visual representation of this in pen and paper. There he is again in the background.
Yeah, he's so beautiful.
He's amazing. So what happened was, really quickly found out that this was becoming too complex to be handled by paper. The concepts are too many, the lines are too many, even with the thinnest of pencils, like you cannot do this. So I tried making it. I tried making it on the computer, and I had no idea on how to do this. Visualizing complex things is still a challenge for computers and the way we work it.
Let me ask you a question real quick, though.
Course.
Why is it important to understand the connections between things instead? And because for somebody who maybe isn't in doing branding or, well, why would that even be important? Why do you need to make these connections? Like, why is it important as a branding designer?
Well, the thing is, okay, so these connections are already, okay, most of these connections already exist in our mind, whether we want it or not. So, and, some are developed during our lifetime and are, they're distilled to us via our culture. For example, black being the color, I'm using too many colors, but black being the color of mourning, for example, like the somber, sad thing. And okay, this is a cultural thing that we've started imbibing, but there are also many things that are even inscribed to us through our genes. So, for example, cats recognize cucumbers as snakes, and they're dangerous, and they have an adverse reaction to cucumbers for some reason. Or there's this association with yellow and black stripes being dangerous. So we have bees, tigers, so all of these are dangerous to us. So we have associated this yellow and black stripy thing as, something to be alert about. And this is not a human invention. Like it's a very primal thing. So these connections exist in our mind, whether we want it or not. Understanding them and how the human mind feels about these things can make us be more deliberate in the way that we practice design. So a sign maker deciding to make his sign, yellow and black, a caution, wet floor or something, is being deliberate in using a symbol that is associated with a certain thought. So first of all, mapping it and understanding, like even mapping it just once is going to be amazing for getting all these sort of results that we eventually might understand. Mapping is usually the first thing, and learning how to use them and starting noticing patterns is even more important if we want to be the most effective designers possible in getting the exact amount of energy we need to make an impression in someone's mind. Am I making sense or rambling?
Yes, no, I get it. So then for branding, it's important that you're not designing in a bubble. You have to understand how other people and how maybe our bodies work in general, of how we react to certain symbols or colors, things like that. You can use those things to your advantage.
Yes, or sometimes if you don't, then you need to find a different way. To give you an example, like so in I'm going to be using colors again. I don't know why I'm doing this, but especially in packaging design, physical brands on retail, sometimes they need to stand out. They need to be unique. So if you have a soft drink, for example, you can be the red brand, you can be the green brand, you can be the blue brand. Eventually, like you're going to be using a color which is not really associated with soft drinks. Like eventually, someone is going to have to find the pink soft drink, right? So it makes sense to capitalize on the other aspects of the soft drink in order to create something unique. So even avoiding certain associations with other brands is going to be helpful. So it's the point of making a map of these is having having the exact amount of energy we need, not no more, no less. So we don't over design. On the other hand, we don't risk losing the association in people's minds.
And the one good thing about this, so you've made this tool that allows connections to be made and confirmed. I think
Yes.
that's the other thing. So the beautiful thing is that if you're like me and I'm a solopreneur, if I was doing, say I was doing packaging, it doesn't have to just be branding. And I wanted to have something that goes with this. And I think, well, being in the South, I would put cucumbers and watermelon together, like that's a typical thing that we put together. But maybe as Dimi's face looks like it's weird.
Sure.
But that is a typical thing. So this may be that you wouldn't know that, but I am thinking about it, the bubble, but it needs to be for the whole United States or for the whole world. It's, open this, whatever I'm making, this juice drink or something. And, but if I just am doing mind mapping in my own bubble, I may make this connection, but you would be like, what? Like that's a weird, why would you ever? I think about toothpaste a little bit. There's a toothpaste and I love this toothpaste. Okay. But I think
this is your uni office, right?
This is, so I bring this because I think this looks like his Smile, right?
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, not High Smile. Yes.
Yeah, High Smile. I think is what it needs, more kerning or something, but it tastes really good. And what I love is that this is a watermelon flavor. Normally we connect like a watermelon flavor with like candy, or we wouldn't do it with toothpaste. Most toothpaste is mint, right?
Yes, or spearmint or green
Maybe
things.
cinnamon. Yeah,
herby things. Yes.
So, but they have like peach tea, and granted, I think they need a little help with their High Smile instead of his Smile.
Do you know how we call these in Europe?
No.
Kids toothpastes.
Oh, but that's adult toothpaste. That's not.
I don't think so. I don't think if it's watermelon, it's kids. Like it doesn't matter.
Okay, so yes, you're right. But so then the whole thing with this his Smile is that they're trying to say toothpaste doesn't have to taste like, I don't really like mint. I like spearmint. Okay. But there's not a lot of spearmint. It's usually peppermint in your thing. So I always feel like, okay, well, this is a great like breakout of what is normal. So I never had kids toothpaste. When I was a kid, there was not kids toothpaste. It was all the same. So I was like, I'm going to try this peach. And I liked the peach, but I can't find the peach anymore. So I get the watermelon and it's yummy. But there are certain things that we connect. So if I was doing this, if I worked for that company, I might say, okay, this is how I could use this tool that Dimi's made, is that most people are connecting toothpaste with mint. So how can we stand out? We're going to do watermelon and peach and cherry or something, right? Because we need to stand out in the market. Why does toothpaste? Let's question some of these, accepted rules. So correct?
100%. Yes. So the map itself, can lead you towards or lead you away from things. So I think it would be prudent to just show the
us.
Map.
Yes, let's show
people this. Okay,
are you going to share it, or do you want me?
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, great. So you decided to make this because you tried it on paper. It was too big. You tried it in the computer, and you were
even on paper, having 50 concepts is a challenge, and now there's 5,000 of them. So it's definitely not fitting on paper. So I'll just show you the first version. Can you see my screen?
Yes, not yet, but okay, now we can.
Yeah, now you can. So I'm going to show you the first version of it, which is sort of deprecated. And eventually it will settle down. And this was an old attempt on how this works. And as you can see, like it's a huge mess. And when I zoom out, you will probably understand why this is so hard to do on paper, and it's still, not everything. So every dot you see here is concepts, and every line connecting um, two nodes, like two dots, is the idea that these things are connected, and they feel and they work like rubber bands. They have physics. They have this ability to sort of pull and push different things towards them. So I
So
was.
are ones that are closer together more related in some way?
Yes, exactly. So the cool thing about this is it sort of gave this thing shape. Instead of being randomly distributed, there are these sort of bright centers in several places, which shows us like this is especially cool. Like, okay, what is this? Oh, come on. This is so fertility. So fertility is important, or water is even more important. So you can see like the most fundamental ideas being sort of closer and developing a sort of gravity around them. But still, it was very cumbersome, and you can see in certain places like the most central node. So, and this is when this version of the process was done. This was just 10% of my research on the actual connections, and still it's huge. So it was going to, and the thing about area is it doesn't grow linearly. Like this would mean the final thing would be 100 times bigger than the rest of it if it's going to grow 10 times in each direction. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be extremely complicated. But the physics of the thing just gave us a sort of idea on how this might work. And first of all, it was terrible. I don't know how to code. So you can see like when I try to zoom in, it feels like Lady Gaga on meth, like it's not stable at all. And because most of it I had to make, from Frankenstein code, like essentially just taking code snippets from here and there and just pasting them together, with rudimentary JavaScript experience and just hoping that it will feel okay. And it sort of gave me some, semblance of this thing working, and it was good enough so I could still go and incorporate more and more ideas and concepts in this, and just hoping for the best. Mountains are also, and fire and earth are really important symbols, as you can see.
So were you at this point, were you just putting things in on your own, things that you were seeing?
Yes.
How did you determine? So really at this point, it was just Dimi's thoughts of what was connecting, or were you using some sort of science backing you up?
Okay, so halfway. So, like, I understand that this is not science in the most honest form. Like, this is just a transposition of my notes that I have done on the back of other people's research. So this is incorporating semiotic dictionaries, art history books. There's this great book by Adrian Frudiger that he's amazing. He used to be a anyway. Adrian Frudiger is a huge inspiration for this. I'm very thankful that he existed in our world. So I'm mostly incorporating things that I find in in books that I've been reading and just trying to make a map. Like, I don't claim this to be scientific. I don't claim for this to be accurate. It's just my notes on, on essentially lectures from other people on this. So,
but it's not just what you're writing. Oh, well, my mom put watermelon and cucumber together.
no,
Right.
I'm trying to use,
You're using
quantified
right.
sources, but the thing that will make it more scientific, if this is eventually falsifiable or testable. So the point of this is when 100% of the information is incorporated, then if you ask 10,000 people, most of them will agree. Like, that's the other way to go about it. So that was one approach, and that is the one I have been using. So it clearly was broken. It sort of didn't help me understand much. And while there is some functionality where if you click on one node, you can sort of just see the concepts that it's related to, the positioning of the map itself is terrible, so it just doesn't help with anything. Okay, so like everything is in its own place, and there's this huge line that goes somewhere that I will probably not be able to locate. Okay, spring. Okay, makes sense for spring. Spring lamp is connected to spring, and yeah, it's terrible. And if I click on spring, good luck with that.
So how long did it live at this terrible stage? Because
a year and a half, I would say.
Year and a half, and then what? At this point, you were like, it could be better.
Yes, and the main inspiration about this was this needs to be 3D, because mapping it in linear way just makes a certain kind of shape, challenging. While when you're in 3D, then more things can be closer to your main thing without being too far spread apart. So this is the version of the thing that is currently living in the website, and I've made it, purposefully, very matrix-like. I'm using all the shaders. I think it's important to impress people. So I can use my mouse to sort of help you see how it feels. It still has a kind of a donut shape, but it has thickness, and the thickness is I assume it's actually important, but we'll see how this goes. So you can see, like, it feels more like a molecule right now, and molecules were always the inspiration. Hello. Ale right here. So molecules are really the inspiration of the general form that I wanted for this. And as you will see, there are no labels here yet because you have to zoom in really close. Okay, I pressed something, but I'll go for the full thing again.
This wasn't there before. The search, the ability for other people to.
So yeah, that's the one cool thing is, but I'll need to show you. Oh, come on. So this is everything starting from C, and it grows. So the thing is, it's going to show labels when fewer than 50 things are on the screen at a single time. So like if you're just watching at big shapes, it doesn't need to produce a million pieces of text.
But the nodes, the things are still closer to things that they're more related to.
So the physics still work, and this is really important. And now they're going to be also, like, the strength of the rubber bands is going to be determined by the amount of connections that happen. So I want to show you like a more a more valid way of using this. And this is, for example, something that people would search for. Fire. I've tapped it twice. I'll refresh. So it's still very buggy. This is rendered by my graphics card. So, and I'm streaming video as well. So
Right.
it is going to be slow.
But if I was doing a logo or a for a restaurant and it was fire or in
you can see.
fuego
Okay,
or
so this is fire. All right.
okay.
So this is much more malleable. It's very smooth. It's actually I'm quite happy with the sophistication it has for this level. I just want the impressive thing to be there, which is the huge galaxy of things. So there's a ton of things happening here. So you can see. So first of all, you can see several connections away from it. So it has two levels. So fire is connected with firecracker, and firecracker is connected to golden dragon or China or rain or scaring off evil spirits. So that is an amazing thing that's happening. So with this situation, you can sort of you can have a look and zoom in and out and see what's happening. And there's some other concepts that are still related. So the one thing that is problematic in this version is I need to eventually implement a way for certain versions of a single word. So we have fire with a capital F and fire with a minuscule f, and they're not the same thing in this. So I need to, like, one of the next steps is, making it more smart about how words are written. I guess this is also going to happen with American and British spellings.
Spellings.
It's going to be. It's going to need a linguist at some point in order to make all these rules happen, which is really important. So the cool thing about this version, other than the flashy things, is you can click on a node and it will take you to the associations with the node. So if I clicked on purification, it takes me to purification. Click on water, gets me there. Click on baptism, it takes me to.
Now some of those nodes are bigger than others. Does that mean something?
They're just closer.
Okay.
They're the same. They're just closer to the camera of the thing. There might be some reason to make some of these bigger than the others. There might be some reason to give these different colors. I really don't know. It's the very early start of the project. The cool thing about this version is that the visualization and the background information, the database behind them, are completely separate. So they live in different ways.
Why is that important?
It's important because I can make all the changes that I want to the database without affecting how cool it looks, or I can make aesthetic changes and I don't have to affect. I don't have to worry about what happens behind the scenes, and I can also implement logic in different ways. So eventually, you're going to have a user interface in this that is also enabling people to sort of filter. Because this is essentially filtering. Like when you click on water, it just filters everything. So this is actually for people who understand data science. Like, this is really cool.
All right. So Jared says he was teaching on this last week, helping students learn how to ideate, and we did this on the whiteboard. So what is so I do think that there's something to be done about what you as an individual know about a certain thing. But I think that we all have limited experience. So it's really important to understand, again, that maybe I think everybody connects cucumbers and watermelons, but everybody doesn't. So it's also really important to put in, be able to see a bigger picture. And this is giving us a larger picture instead of a insulated or a bubble.
Okay, yes, and there's more. Like, so first of all, let's talk about the aspirations for this project. So for me, I would like this to be like open and free forever. First of all, it needs to be open and free. It lives on my website right now. I would like it to be so you know people can have a poke around, but I don't even advertise that this is there. Like
Right.
you know, it's just someone has to notice my bar. So the big thing is I want this to be open and free. I would like people to contribute to this in the same manner that people contribute to Wikipedia. So people, because I understand my sources are limited. So the big shift in this project is going to happen when new people add their own associations and they say, you know, yin is connected to frogs, or dying love, or Samoan folklore, or whatever, cunning, or anyway. So there might be connections that are missing from the sources I have been using, which definitely are 5 years old, and this is already old in cultural terms, and many of these are from the 17 and 1800s, so even worse. The first thing is in the same way that Wikipedia has sort of mapped the human knowledge from different cultures in different spaces and different geographies and different perspectives, I would like this to be the same. So the main mechanism I'm thinking about this is people like there's going to be a user interface in here, so people can type one word and can type a second word, and it's just going to put these and associate it with this. The technology exists. I have removed it from the interface right now because I don't want this to be overwhelmed by spam, essentially.
Right.
And spam is probably the next thing I'm going to refer to. What I would like to see happening once I'm you know comfortable with the amount of people working on this is I think I would like to get the help of experts, and you know, a linguist is a good idea of the kind of expert that we need. So they might be provide, they might be they might provide you know, context in whether, you know, flame and fire should be different things, should be the same thing. Like, what's the situation there, or pyre, or whatever. So a linguist might be more valuable in understanding these connections. So that's one. A data scientist would be, you know, amazing to have, and a coder probably, because this is still working on my very limited knowledge of things. Thankfully, AI has helped us build tools like this. Most of this is using not the data behind it. The data is from book sources, but making the visualization is very much driven by Claude, which is Anthropic's version of ChatGPT. And yeah, I wouldn't be able to make it without it, but I'm pretty sure an actual coder can make it 10 times better and more stable and more clean and whatever have you. So, but it's still in a very usable form, so that people can be using this to come up with ideas. And I really love the random jump where people just do concept associations here and there, and they see what's there and what exists, and and whatnot. So it's very much in a usable form. So I'm very, very proud of that.
Let me ask you, what is your biggest concern for this tool?
Okay,
is it spam?
So spam is a very big thing. Yes, I've seen it. It's not just so. There's two challenges. I think the one is spam, like literal bots doing ungodly work with making
Putting two different words in and they're not really
yes,
connected,
or
and
even putting advertising type of associations, which is going to be a problem. And just the brute force of the thing, like putting 1,000 instances of happiness and the McDonald's brand. Like this might be a way to abuse the system if you have robots instead of people putting the data in there. But this is quite easily resolved with human moderators having a sense of how did all this data appear here. So my main idea is that everyone is going to be able to make a contribution, and then this contribution is just goes to a separate preliminary place, and the human moderator accepts or deletes this, and then it goes into the whole of information. So you don't need an account to add things, but you'll need an account of a moderator to put things like to absorb the information in there.
So when you oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say the second challenge is going to be harder, and this is going to be the moderators fighting amongst themselves for which associations are valid or not. This will need human management, like this will need a steady hand, in the same way that there are moderator wars in Wikipedia all the time. Thankfully, I really like Wikipedia's solution for this, which is there is a log of all the changes, and there's a log of the reasons people take and remove things. So, human abuse is going to be a problem in all tools like this. But I hope that this is, especially at the beginning, this is, irrelevant enough that, bad faith people are not going to be abusing it as much. But eventually, as it grows, it needs the stability and support of people. There might be AI solutions to this. I really don't know. I think AI is still very limited on deciding these things. Like it's still based on sources, and the whole idea of this thing is to remove it from the book sources eventually and put it to the actual lived experience of people. So we'll see how that goes. But these are the two concerns I might have for how this is going to go.
So you talked about how you want to have people working on this. Are they working on as contributors, like adding connections, or are they working on it as those moderators? Or I called them curators, but moderators.
So eventually, right now, nobody's working on this but me. I just casually show the progress of it to my business partner, and that's about it. I have a friend who's a DevOps person who's just helping me with, some infrastructural things in there, but mainly driven by me. But it doesn't have to be like the whole point of this is just to get people to know about this, and get in touch in order to contribute to this in any capacity, really. Like as I said, more than moderators and people adding context. I would love people's insight on whether this word or that word might be used, or it's still I'm building the Power Agents kind of team that's going to take this forward into more public state.
And we talked about you and I last week talked about different languages, and this is the beauty if you had a linguist in there, somebody who can be putting in different terms that it was because right now it's all in English, correct?
Yes, and this is also going to be a big. It is a big problem to be solved, but I do think that this visual representation works better than dictionaries in that sense. So, for example, in Greek, there is no difference for the word between home and house,
Hmm.
but there's a very substantial, like it's just house. Um, and but there's a big difference in English on how this works. So even the idea that you could eventually see the Greek word for house connected to both home and house in English might be interesting to linguists and people who deal with translation and people who deal with all these sorts of things. Like even language learning could be important in this situation. But this is more about associations rather than actual words. So setting sun being associated with death. It's not linguistically, it's just mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the language, like translating this is also going to need volunteers, of course, and I think it's going to bring some new insights and perhaps, concepts that really don't translate in English at all might be included there, and we'll have to find a way to see and incorporate this.
All right. So, how would a designer use this? And you can tell how you have used this when you're working with a client or on a project.
Okay, so first of all, I've seen there it is again. I just wanted to zoom out. So first of all, like I've seen how people use the mind mapping techniques in order to come up with concepts and ideas, and I don't like it. Like I don't love it. I find it very limiting. I find that it's not getting you to the places you need.
What
there
is
are a few.
lacking? So I agree with you, but what is I don't like when people say I like it or I don't like it, but I like that you say it's limiting. In what way has that been limiting for you as you've been just trying to use a
So
general?
I'll show you something. So there might be something arriving from the brief, right? Which is perhaps the color gold is not to be negotiated, right? Like the
I
brand is
have to have it.
already gold,
Hmm.
and we have it. So there might be associations here that people are missing. Like, okay, greed is usually associated with gold, but is it always top of mind for the designer, or because greed is a negative idea. So
Hmm.
how do you make sure that you're protected from building a brand which might be involuntarily be associated with greed if you don't make it so?
Mm,
So for example, me seeing greed here, first of all, makes me remember it, and the other is it makes me design something and make a choice that I will have to associate it with giving or altruism or anything that counteracts greed if I care about that, or improves greed if I don't.
right.
So this is like really important. There's absolutely no way to go about it, and we're very prone to using to neglecting the many parts, and I don't really think that lion would show up quickly in these, but there are many actual in heraldry. There's tons of golden lions,
Right.
and golden lions are associated with Christ as well. Like there's many associations that we're just missing. So malleability, like gold bends in a way, there's the bending the golden coin with a tooth type of thing. Like sometimes we don't think about that when we're doing what we're doing. So yeah, like and especially when this becomes like a fully fledged tool, you like a person, a designer can rest assured that a lot of the human experience is going to be mapped into this, and it's safe. That most of the bases are covered instead of just hoping that everything comes to mind or just have to
Right.
browse a book, which is in words and literary form.
So you said people who were maybe learning languages. I'm asking about other industries that might could use this. So people who I think the language is really interesting one. What other industries do you think that could make use of this tool?
So first of all, like the tool can be useful to our clients themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which is also important. So for many clients, like most designers don't always have the full capacity to cover the clients in every need they have. So this can be used in marketing, for example, like all these associations. Somebody might make an advertisement or all kinds of creative work, all kinds of cultural work can have significant advantages if they use a tool like this. So that you can tell better stories, you can be more symbolic, you can just make sure that your social media or your writing or your video might be relevant for this. So language learners as well. I do think there's something here that it's going to rotate the whole AI angle on its back. AI is doing symbol associations by just brute force reading a ton of books and trying to understand which things are connected. So it has to read 3,000 books, where some of these are, red is referenced with fire, and it will make a statistical analysis and it would say, okay, red is usually connected with fire. This is how generative AI works at the moment, like the large language models. But this is a more comprehensible form of food for a potential AI. So it might be better trained in this shape rather than in literary form for this to happen. So it also might be very useful to people working with language in this shape. And again, it's always going to be free. It's always going to be open. Like it's a data set that is very relevant for us. So yeah, who knows?
Okay, so and cultural references are something that I know that when I think Toyota named some, or maybe it was a different brand car maker, but they called something and it was like a bad word. It meant like poop or something in Spanish. And it was like, oh gosh, if they just, reference something. So I can see it in naming. You said storytelling, marketing. There's lots of even writing. Yeah, his Chevy Nova. So I knew it was something. I think that this is just something that it can be building on. I'm excited to see, but what would be, so you want some people to volunteer and do some contributions, and then maybe get some people that you trust that would also be those curators or moderators. So if anybody's listening, we'll share how to get in touch with Dimi. But what is next for this project? Besides, you said maybe the spam option. I feel like you would be able to figure that out. Like what's next, and then what's long-term dream that it
So,
gets passed
so, uh,
on?
so one feature that's already technically viable, is just hasn't been incorporated, is the randomness question, which is whenever somebody's logged in, they can still browse the whole thing, but on the bottom it's going to have two randomly selected words, and it asks the people whether these are associated between them. So you can see passion and summer are not connected by a single line here. So
Right.
eventually, passion and summer are going to be randomly picked, and people will be able to say whether they're connected or not, like in a similar way as Tinder works. Like, is this a
Right.
good match or not?
Right. Right.
So the point is, eventually is going to start learning by interaction with humans on whether the sources are more compatible with themselves. Like, this is the absolute next step. And then, so right now we have so all of this galaxy you see is about 35% of the information I have from my personal notes, and I know my personal notes are limited. Um, so the thing is, when the 100% of the knowledge is incorporated, then we can start seeing the shape of this thing and use a data scientist to tell us, do you know what? Fire is really much more important than mountains in the way semiotics works. Or, colors are more widely associated with things rather than physical objects, which is something that I've already, like in making this thing, I've already started noticing the pattern. So there, just mapping this and then deciding how we feel about how it looks like is the next big thing. Like, it's like the human genome. Like, mapping it was a thing, and then you see the whole thing, and you make your own assumptions on how it might be working. So there's still tons of inland things to be mapped, but we're really, really, really close. So yeah, even getting people to sort of contribute to that. I have books to share with people, and trust me, like, the process of transposing the information into pairs of words, like, helps me become more familiar with semiotics in general. It's the same way that people are doing the times tables. Just repetition and exposure to it is already very helpful. So I know it sounds like a wax on, wax off type of thing. You just come and work for free in this, and you might learn something, but it really is one of the reasons I'm doing it myself.
Okay, I'm going to stop your participant sharing. Okay, so my thing got blurry there for a second. I think this is really interesting. I do think this is a tool that I would be able to use, and I would be able to tell my students to use. So if somebody wanted to use it, they can check out your website at Symbolon. I have it.
.co.uk.
Yep. And it's SYMBOLON branding.uk.
Yes,
Not
but
co.
my Instagram
uk.
has a dot in it, so we'll need to change that.
Okay. I can go back and change. Is it dot branding on that one?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get that fixed.
Okay.
So in this, how would best do they go and just log in, or do they send you an email? How do you want people, if they want to get in touch with you?
For anyone listening to this, the best way is follow us on Instagram and send us a message and say, hey, I'm this guy, this girl, I want to help. How could I help? I have these skills, or I don't have any skills. We can work with anyone. Just send us a direct message on Instagram is the best way to go, and we'll make an account for you, and you can help. So I think that's the most appropriate way to make this happen. Thank you,
Okay.
Dan.
Yeah. Okay. So if you are needing to use it or you want to use it, you can go there and you can, I believe you go to symbolonbranding.co.uk and
Yes.
then,
There's a link on the menu.
yeah.
So and click on it really easily. And it's always going to be there, always going to be free, always going to exist. Like all of this is going to happen in any shape or form without needing for anyone to log in or give their data or whatever.
And then we can start using it. And then if we have questions or we want to contribute besides just using it, or we have an idea, you're definitely open for.
Absolutely. I'm listening to all ideas. I'm listening to all feedback. If someone needs a version of this that might be simpler. So for example, like you're a uni teacher, right? And you can tell me like, I don't really like the fancy lights and the weird shading. Can you make a version for me which is simpler and more basic? For some reason you might want it this way. I'm always happy to collaborate to make something that people need in this.
But it would be good if people were using it and then seeing where maybe there are holes or seeing how it's working well. And you would love to hear feedback like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, Dimi, you always have new things that you're learning. And I love that you come on and you share. And this is a tool that I will be using and I will be telling my students about for sure. But I think it's, especially for solopreneurs, we are alone, and sometimes ideation, we are limited to what we know or what we've heard or what we learned, but often we might forget something that is connected. And like the greed thing, I think is a really great example that I need to choose typeface that doesn't have a connection to greed and has a connection to giving. So it's softer or it's a different, I love just thinking about that. Because greed was there, I don't want to pick things that are going to lean that way. So I need to pick things that'll go there. So I think we don't always think about, we're trying to make positive connections, and really sometimes the negative connections are important as well because it helps us in our decision making.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a bias, like anything. An accurate map helps us, remove some of the biases. So
yeah. Awesome. Well, Dimi, we did it good. We just did 4 minutes over. So I'm excited that we were on time.
Very, very honored by the people who stayed as well. And thank you, everyone. Like it's always a pleasure to be on Creatives Ignite, and even more so that, we still, didn't bore anyone, I hope.
No. And we now have a new tool that we can use to maybe help us with when we have biases. So I appreciate it. And I'm excited that there's a tool that I didn't have to create. I love that you didn't find something out there that already existed. So you made it, and it wasn't easy. And I appreciate that you do that.
Thank you. Like it's for me, I'm not satisfied with everything that exists out there. So I'm always in the lookout to to make my own things. Like that's our main purpose in life. Just change the world in a shape that we like.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Dimi. I really appreciate it.
Always and next, a very gracious host.
Well, I'm happy to have you when you do something else new, neat, or just if we need to have a conversation about something, always, anytime. Next week, I start a new series all about product design. And I think if we did product design in that, there are so many different definitions of product design or product designer that I'm pretty excited about interviewing a bunch of different product designers that will be going for a few weeks, and there's some in November, all of October, and I'm just excited about those portions of things that I'm learning, and I am super. Now this is me not being humble, but I'm super excited because I get to interview 3 of my alumni, and that is awesome. And so I'm really excited to see, because I didn't teach them about product design. So it's nice to see where their career path goes and how people pivot and go to different things and get different people's perspectives. So I'm excited about that.
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I will see y'all next week. And Dimi, thank you again so much.
Thank you.